In this video, I want to tackle the fun question of can men and women be friends? And as we all know, the answer to that question is yes, provided that neither of them are attracted to each other. But complexities and problems can arise when one or both of them are attracted to the other person. So that's the scenario that I want to address in this video. And my answer to the question is yes, but there are a few caveats, and they are you basically need authenticity, respect, and healthy boundaries for the friendship to work with that attraction being there. So the authenticity part is pretty important, and I'm sure you're probably thinking, how the hell can you be authentic in this sort of situation? Because authenticity pretty much means being honest and truthful, which means they kind of will somehow know, or that you should communicate that you do find them attractive and maybe that you have feelings for them. But them knowing that doesn't mean they'll assume you'll pursue them, and it doesn't mean that you should pursue them. You can be authentic in these situations where you know that things wouldn't work out with that person for external reasons. Maybe one of you or both of you are in committed relationships, and that's okay. Mature adults are capable of being in those situations and handling them well. You can totally be attracted to someone and have that boundary of knowing they're off limits and that you should not ever make a move on them. And I've been in situations like that myself, where I just know that, hey, this woman is taken, I can't go after her, and I won't. That's also the part of respect. When you respect them enough, you are not going to do anything that they wouldn't like you to do. And that usually means you shouldn't make a move on them because they would not like that. That's putting them in a situation that they wouldn't want to be in, and you're going to make them uncomfortable. It's unfair in some ways. So that's what it comes down to when you want to remain friends with someone that you're attracted to if you're in a relationship or they're in a relationship. You just need a healthy and large amount of respect and maturity, where you just know that between stimulus and response there's a gap, and the stimulus here is emotions and the response would be acting on them, and in that gap you say, I shouldn't act on these emotions because that would be the wrong thing to do. Even though you find that person attractive, and maybe in some cases you have feelings for them, you know acting on that would be really wrong. It's not the right thing to do. You wouldn't want somebody else to do that to you, so you're not going to do that to them. You're not going to put them in that situation. That would just be unfair. So that's how men and women can be friends with each other while still being attracted to each other. But like I said, I have to reiterate, it requires a huge amount of emotional maturity. You have to know that you can feel emotions and not act on them. This is something not everyone can do, and that's why so many people ask this question and can't really fathom how men and women can remain friends when they're attracted to each other. But you can. You just need boundaries and respect. That's all it takes. There have been so many times in my life where I've had feelings for women, but I know I can't go after them for external reasons, so I don't. It's doable. It's possible. It happens to all of us. You don't need to always act on your emotions or your feelings for other people. It's perfectly okay. Now, one area or aspect of this that I should address is the problem, or more, I guess, the question of if one of you is actually in love with the other person, then I would say that kind of throws a wrench in everything I was saying before, because love is such a powerful emotion, such a powerful thing, and such a rare thing, provided it's actually real love and not just lust, which is very common. Then I would say in this case, my answer is a bit different. I would say love, because it is so rare, is something that you actually should kind of try to pursue and see what happens. But in this case, I would still say you need to be authentic, but you need to be respectful, and you still need to uphold the boundaries. So if you're in love with someone, I would say you should probably bring that up, but in a respectful way. Don't go after them. Don't make a move on them. Just in an honest conversation, let them know how you feel, and then say, look, I completely get it. If you're in your committed relationship and if you're happy there, then stay there. But I just needed you to know this because it's on my chest. And then you have to be comfortable with losing that friendship, because love is just such a powerful thing. So you really need to be in a position where you're willing to risk the friendship here, because if you decide to stay friends with someone that you're in love with just to have them in your life, but you can't act on your love, you're going to be miserable. It's going to eat away at you. And I don't think that's the right thing to do. I don't want you to sign up for that kind of pain. So I believe here, in this case only, where you're in love with them, I would say let them know and just have that honest conversation, but also you have to be willing to lose them, because that could very well be what ends up happening. You may have to walk away from them if they decide that they would rather stay with the partner they're with than choose you over them. Be okay with that. But that's the one case where I would say the friendship probably won't work, because love is just, it's too strong of an emotion for a friendship to work with that. It's just, yeah. But in every other case, I would say men and women can be friends when they're attracted to each other, provided it's not incredibly strong feelings, because those definitely need to be brought to the surface so that both of you are aware of them, that one of you is feeling that way, and then you both have to be comfortable with losing the friendship, because you just don't want to be in that situation. It's like being in the friend zone and where you hate it. And by the way, I should specify that in this situation, even with that not in the absence of strong feelings, if you do still have attraction for each other, you won't be in the friend zone with that authenticity, right? Because you'll both know that you're both attracted to each other. So you actually, in this scenario, the ideal with two really emotionally mature people, neither of you will be in the friend zone with each other. But like I said, you're not going to act on your emotions, so the friendship can work. But in cases where you do end up in the friend zone, I've actually made a video on that, so just go and watch that video. This video is getting too long. But anyway, yeah, I do believe men and women can be friends. They just have to be incredibly emotionally mature, be authentic, be respectful, and have those healthy boundaries. And I certainly don't believe everyone is capable of this. So more of have that self-awareness, judge yourself, and see whether or not you believe you could handle this before you actually pursue it, because you just don't want to put yourself in those risky situations, or you don't want to put the other person in those situations if they're in a relationship themselves. So if you're not ready for this, then don't try to be friends with someone you're attracted to if they're in a relationship or you are. Just stay away from those situations until you're actually mature enough to handle them. But anyway, bring on the comments, because I'm sure they'll be kind of interesting. But I hope this video helped you, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Arrivederci!